Now, many bring up the race issue as one of the reasons for the different conflicts that's going on presently right now. However, we cannot get caught up in the illusion of race because if you look at history, there is no such thing as black or white race, okay? Those are secondary colors. Let's move forward. We have the Asian race, the Malutos, or the light-skinned Africans, all right? We have what was called the Ethiopians in Greek and Latin, better known as the burnt face, okay, or the scorched face. Then we have, of course, last but not least, those who had leprosy, or the albinos, from Latin de abus. So for now, I'm gonna be like, yo, if I hit the white man, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, yo, you tripping or something? I'm like, you mean the abus, man? Because what I'm saying is, we got to use the right terminology. You feel what I'm saying? Because they'll get rid of the whiteness in our mind. All right, let's move forward. In my opinion, this is not. This is about culture and interaction with other spiritual beings on this planet, whether they be a negative, low energy spirit or a positive, high energy spirit. I believe that the beings on this planet is currently vibrating at a negative, evil, low energy spirit since the lunar cycle. Okay, and all beings will be forced into a high energy spirit during the Aquarius age that we're pretty much in now, and the solar cycle that began in 2012. Okay, that was the Mayan height and stuff like that, doomsday, end of the world. You know, y'all heard about it in 2012, right? Okay, that was the setting of the solar cycle that we're in now. That means a lot of energy is on this earth right now. It's hitting Earth. I'm going to a little bit more for y'all can see what I'm talking about. I got some footage for y'all. All negative, low energy will either self-destruct or will be wiped out in many and various ways. Okay, it's a lot of people right now going crazy, jumping off bridges, shooting each other. It's getting crazy out here. That's because there's certain vibrations, certain things going on with our sun. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's move forward. However, for those who may say, what's wrong with this dude? You like Europeans? No, I'm not saying that, Phil. I'm telling you that there is racism and scientific racism. How many of y'all heard of scientific racism? Anybody? You heard of it? Okay, at least got one person in the bunch that heard of it. Yeah? Okay, let's move forward. Let's look at the word racism for a minute. Consists of both prejudice and discrimination based in social perception of biological differences between people. Now, we have people judging, even in our own communities, okay, just because of the way you, I know people judge me all the time for the way I dress and look. They ain't looking at what's in my intelligence, right? Or who I am in my heart, right? So I know that they exist all the time. And don't forget about our babies running around talking about their blood, their crip. That's a form of racism, okay? One group is saying that they are more superior than the other group, okay? So we got that going on with our kids right now. Let's move forward. It often takes the form of social actions, practice, or beliefs, or political systems that consider different races to be ranked as inferior, inherently superior or inferior to each other based on the presumed shared inheritable traits, abilities, or qualities, and may also hold that the members of different races should be treated differently. Now, scientific racism. I've seen this word. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? In the use of scientific techniques and hypotheses to support or justify the belief in racism. Wait a minute, we got the idea with racism. So they're saying there's techniques being used out here to support this thing. Okay, racial inferiority and racial, or alternative practice of classifying individuals at different phenotypes into discrete races, you know, due to our faces and what have you and so forth. So I really got to looking at this and I said, wait a minute, have y'all heard of these cats right here, Robert Boyle or Blumenbach? If anybody heard of them? Anybody? Many of y'all heard of them, right? You heard of them? Well, we gotta be a smart person that been doing some serious reading around here. Alright, Phil, let's move forward. Let's start with this cat. Because we gotta look at it. This is some type of techniques going on. He's saying racism. Where did this stuff start at? Well, let's start here with the first person. An early scientist who studied race. Okay, here we go, family. Right here in the United States, we're ready to start getting into some race and racism. Because remember, I told you there's no such thing as black and white in reality. Okay, there's really no such thing as racism. When we first came over here, we just, you know, worked together. All right? Let's move forward. Robert Boyle, an Anglo-Irish natural philosopher, chemist, physicist, and inventor. He was mainly known for his inventions and stuff, other things, more so than on the race issue. And we'll tell you why. Boyle believed in what today is called monogenism. There's a lot of us believe in that right now. He was a pioneer studying races, and he believed that all human beings, no matter how diverse their physical differences, came from the same source, Adam and Eve. Now, how many of y'all believe that one? I know a lot of people believe that one. Man. Come on now. You've been hearing that one since she was a baby. Huh? So this came from these scientists. Let's just move forward. He studied reported stories of parents giving birth to different colored albinos. We didn't even say what that is, right? So let's move forward. Concluded that Adam and Eve were originally white and that Caucasians could give birth to different colored races. So is he saying right now, I'm a damn albino? Damn. Okay, let's move forward. Theories of Robert Hooke and Isaac Newton about color and light via optical projections in physics were also extended by Robert Boyle into the discourse of polygenesis, speculating that maybe these differences were due to seminal expressions. Taking this into account, it may be considered that the envisions a good examination for complexion at this time, due to the fact that we know now that skin color is disposed by genes which are actually contained in the semen. Now, we got Frances Wilson on the ISIS paper that can get more in deep. She got 40 years of study on that, and she can definitely give you about the power of the semen, you know, about our neck juice. All right, y'all with that, film? Let's move forward. We got Boyle's writings mentioned that at this time, at his time, for European eyes, beauty was not measured so much in color of skin, but in stature, I guess the way you carry yourself, common similarity of the body parts of the body, and good features of the face. Now, a lot of people thought this dude was crazy and amusing about his things that he was saying. But let's look at what he was saying, though. He's saying, as a scientist, let's really think about this for a minute. We look at what gave him the conclusion of his scientific information about race. You know, the starting of this race issue that we have in, right? If you think about it, it means that a lot of race began in the belief of the King James Bible of 1611, because he just didn't say that everybody came from the Caucasian man, didn't it? Okay, so in other words, the Adam and Eve in the Bible is really, Caucasian, not us. So we say. So we got, for us, okay, with northerners, him being cursed, and that would be us, the black man, him, okay? So Genesis chapter 9, verse 19, Genesis chapter 9, verse 25 through 27. Go through a little research and see what I'm saying about the curse. Ham's grandson was named Cush, the Cushites or the Ethiopians. I already told you, the burnt face. Okay? Now he had to serve his brothers. Now who was his brothers? We had Shem. Okay? Described his father, he was, Shem was the father of the Arabs, the Iranians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Chaldeans, the Sabaeans, and the Hebrews. Okay? Now we go a little bit farther. And we had to serve as black folks, as Africans, as the burnt face. We had to also serve and be slaves to Japheth, the Caucasian brother. Okay? He had a son named Gomer, Solomon and Gomorrah. Now everybody know we living there now. Right here in the lands of hills of nine snakes, right? All right, let's move forward, fam. With that said, I got to looking at this. Okay, the King James Version, commonly known as the Authorized Version, because this is where a lot of this information is coming out of, right? So, in English translation, the Christian Bible for the Church of England, y'all remember that, begun in 1604, completed in 1611, first printed by the King's printer, Robert Barker. This was the third translation into English, to be approved by the English church authorities. So before any books could even be put out, they had to go through the English authorities, right? So people had to sit around and debate on this issue. First, you had the Great Bible Commission by King Henry. Then you had the Second Bishop Bible in 1568. And then in January, you had 1604, King James Bible was convened at the Hampton Court Conference, where a New English version was conceived in response of a perceived problem due to the Puritans that was here in the United States. Okay? the faction of the Church of England. Once again, James gave translators instructions intended to guarantee that the new versions would confirm the eschatologically and to reflect the apostolical structure of the Church of England. Everything had to go around the Church of England, right? And it's members of the Church of England. What was it? The translation was done by 47 scholars. And y'all can see the rest right here. Y'all can go right here and look up more about King James, okay? I just brought that up to bring up this man right here, Blumenbach. Now, this is the guy that where things really get deep. This is where racism really kick in for everybody across the land. Okay, let's look at this. Blumenbach's work included his description of 60 human cranium skulls. So now we got a man here, it took 60 skulls and you sit around and look at them. And the skulls with no meat on them, with no complexion. You know, you're just looking at how they shaped and formed and everything, right? He published a book about this, and this was great works for those who study craniums, right? This is when he divided the human species into 5 races. In 1779 is when they started this, okay, fam? All right, the 5 races he divided them to in 1779 was the Caucasian, or the Abus man. Okay, we're going to use that for us, right? The Mongolian man, or the yellow race, the Malayan, the brown race, the Ethiopian, like I was telling you a minute ago, the black race, and the American, the red race. Okay? Further down, the study led him to the conclusion that individual Africans differ as much or even more from other individual Africans as Europeans differ from Europeans. Blumenbach argued that physical characteristics like skin color, cranial profile depended on geographic diet, and our mannerism. They had something to do with our skin color changing. Ain't that something? Alright. Like the monogenism. Here he go again. He's one of those too, right? Such as Georges Louis Leclerc and Buffon. Blumenbach held to be the degenerative hypothesis of racial origins. Blumenbach claimed that Adam and Eve were Caucasian. Here we go again, fam. Inhabitants of Asia. And that other races came about by generations from environmental factors such as the sun and poor diet. Thus, he claimed Negro pigmentation arose because of the result of the heat and tropical sun, while the cold wind caused the tawny color in the Eskimos. Okay, while the Chinese were fair skinned compared to the others, Asian stock because they kept mostly in towns protected from environmental factors. Ain't this something? He believed, man, check this out. Now I want y'all to hear this one very closely. He believed that the degeneration could be reversed in a proper environmental control, and that all contemporary forms of man could revert to the original Caucasian race. So, but this one thing he got right. If you think about what Blumenbach was saying. He said back in 1779, if we keep them in a certain environmental control, then they would turn out to be like the Caucasian race. You mean to tell me we haven't done that in these modern times? Wanting to be like the Caucasian race, think like the Caucasian race, want our hair done like the Caucasian race, blonde, our eyes blue, getting our skin bleached. You name it, right? That's one thing he had right in 1779, if nothing else. That, you know, we put us in the proper environment. Let's move forward. Because like I was telling y'all a minute ago, the primary colors are these. A set of colors that have been combined to make useful range of colors for a human application. It's only 3 colors that our eyeballs can see. Okay? The color vision is, what's that, y'all? Trichromatic? Trichromatic. Okay. The primary colors are normally use red, yellow, and blue. So they started talking about this white and black, man, so they kind of confused. When you start looking in the sky at night, right now, we're looking at it like, damn, it's dark, it's black. The sky is black. No, it's not. It's a dark blue, I love it. We think it is. Okay? Let's move forward. All right. The first European tribe was an African tribe of the Gramantes. If you go back to the 10th and 13th dynasty, down the road and occupied by the Moors. The Moors was the word used for the color of the skin. It didn't have nothing to do with a nation of people that so many of us try to believe. This right here is one of the first Europeans that you would have seen. Okay, this is one of the heads found of Europe. Check it now. Now I just wanted to talk enough about that for a second. Yeah, we kind of got where race began, who started racism, and pretty much it started with Adam and Eve, if we think about it, of people believing in that the Caucasian race is superior. And so that means they got a holy right. I say that again. They have a holy right of a lot of things that they're doing. Let's make sure about this. Let's read for it. Catch the whole thing. Let's see. On our website, fam. So, till next time, one love.
TV.